Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is part 19 for a step-by-step guide to learn Angular. So if you are directly coming to this video, I will recommend you to watch previous video first and then you can come to this video. These are the topics we are going to cover in this complete video series, and this is the application we are going to develop in this video series. So let's look off our application. So click on login and then I can see dashboard, to do and logout button. But this is a very small application. In the real time we will have multiple menus, and we want to restrict our user to log in to only to view only few links. For that we need to add the claim. So step 1, I'm going to create one claim table. So let's open SQL Server Manager Studio. So now we are already having user details table, and in that we are storing that username and password. So let's see this. So we are storing this email and password. So for demo purpose, I'm storing it directly, but in the real time it should be in an encrypted format. So now I'm going to create one more table that's called claim table. So user claim table. So let's start. So this is our user claims table. Now I am creating a claim ID, then user ID. This is a foreign key reference with the user details table, and claim type and claim value. So basically, I will insert each user ID from user details table, and in the claim type we will have values like can access to do. This is a one of our menu, and one more is similar to that, can access dashboard. And in the future maybe we will add one admin module, so I'm going to add can access admin. And for all these rows we will have true and false value. If it is a true, then user can access to particular menu, and if it is a false, then user will not be able to access that. So after creating this user claims table, we need to update our DB context files for this table. So for that we need same command what we used in the video 14. So let's copy the command from video 14. So this is a command you can find in the description block. So let's copy this and come back to Visual Studio, open Package Manager console. Also make sure you have changed the server values with your server values, and username and password according to your SQL Server Manager Studio username and password. And apart from that, we are going to add this force keyword. This will force to create our entities classes. So let's click on enter. So it's build started and it succeed. And let's check our to do context file. So now I can see one new entities that's called user claims. So we have successfully mapped our table with our DB context file. And also remove this connection string part which is generated automatically, because we are having that in the configuration file. So let's remove this and let's open user details controller. So here in the post method, what I want is whenever our user is getting registered, I am going to add three claims. One is for can access to do, can access dashboard, and can access admin. So I will add this two can access to do and dashboard as a true and admin as a false. So let's do that. So basically what I changed it is whenever our user is getting registered, he will get by default two claims. He can access our dashboard. he can access our to do, and in future if we will have one admin link, so he will not have access to that. So by this we are setting this claim value true for the to do, true for dashboard, and for admin it is false. And one more change which I am going to make is, this is our method which is getting a user details by ID. So we need to include our user claim table here so that we can get the values of our user claim table. So let's include, and here I'm going to use lambda expression, and let's add u dot user claims, and here we can use where, and here again I can use lambda expression and I can give u dot id equals to id, and here I can use first star default async. So this will also return the same result, and this will include our user claims. Now let's make a similar change when we will get the list of user details. So here also I want to include our claim table. So let's add include here too, and let's write a language section, and I'm going to give user claims here as well. And now one more change I'm going to make. Let's open our DB context classes. So here in the properties I can see this navigation property, and as we don't have our data transfer object classes as of now, so I am going to add JSON ignore here. So I don't want to expose this property in my result set, so I can add JSON ignore here. That's all. Now let's open SQL Server and delete all registered user, because for that user we don't have any claim entry. So let's quickly delete everything from user details table, and let's verify both the tables. So we don't have any record, and let's check for user claims. So we should not have anything because it's newly created. Yeah, that's all. Now let's go back to Visual Studio and run our API. Now I'm running both our API and UI application. So in the API we can see we are not having any record now. And let's go to our UI application, and let's open our registration form. So I am going to register one record here. So Tapan, then Dubey, and email is dubeytapan12@gmail.com. Password is 12345 and 12345. And let's click on register. So I came here, and now let's click continue. So record saved successfully. Now let's see if we have that in the API or not. So let's refresh this page. So now I can see one new record with the first name, last name, email and password. And also we are having now user claims for newly registered user. So this registered user can access our to-do application, can access dashboard, and cannot access our admin module. So now next I'm going to create one user object class, so user auth object class. So this will return the information like is the user authenticate and can access to do, can access our dashboard, and can access admin module. So for that I'm going to create one new folder to do.dtos, and I will add a class for that that's called user auth object. So let's start. So we are done with the creating a user authentication object. So this class contains the username and is authenticated values. So if a user is a valid user, then it will be true, and we will store our bearer token here in this property. And by the our claims table, we will set these values in these three properties. So now next step, I'm going to create one security manager class. So that class will validate the user and build this user authentication object. So let's create one security folder, and under that I'm going to create one security manager class. So start. So this security manager having two methods. One is for validate user. So from our controller, we will pass username and password to this validate user method, and this will get the details based on the username password from user details table and along with the user claims, and that object we are going to pass in our build authentication object, and this will build our authentication object and return back to us, and we will return that authentication object to our controller. So let's start coding for that. So basically what I change is in this here I am getting the user details by username and password, and I am passing this to our build user auth object, and here I am creating this new instance and I'm setting it to true, and I am here keeping username as a email, and for now I'm keeping bearer token as a mock token, and I'm looping all the user claims, and here I'm using the reflection and setting our claim type property. But we need to make sure our claim type property name should be same as we insert in the database. So let's quickly verify that also. So now let's open our controller and authentication object class in the two separate windows so easily match that. So here, let's open user authentication object class. So this three should match what we are inserting in the database. So to avoid any spelling mistakes or anything, we can just directly copy this, and Now let's open our user details controller, and I am going to create one method that's called a login method, and in that we will pass username and password. So I can copy this post method here and scroll down, and here let's paste this, and here let's just change the route to, this is login, so just change it this to login, and change the method name as well as a login, and just remove all this code here. Just change this return type also, so I'm going to remove this task type here, and I'm going to create this action result, I action result object. So here the return type should be a user authentication object class, so let's change this user authentication object, and let's remove this async as well. And here I am going to create an instance for this class first. So, and now I want to call our security manager class. So for that I need to create an instance for security manager class. So let's do this. So there is a one more class we have in the system.security. So make sure you're not creating instance for that. You're taking our to-do.security class. So let's take that and select this one. Now next step, I'm going to call our login method. So security dot, I can see validate user, and it's accepting username and password. So in the user details object I'm having email as a username and user details dot password. So now I am passing username and password, and what this method is returning, it's returning the user authentication object. So directly we can assign this obj to security validator user, and now I want to return that action result. So for that I can use this variable. So first I should validate like is my user is authenticated or not. So let's do this. So I'm adding a condition like if obj dot is authenticated, if we are getting true value, then what I'm going to return is return equals to, I'm going to use this status code, and here I'm giving a status code as a okay, and here I'm returning the obj. So I can see error. So what it is, it's saying okay, yeah. So we are expecting integer here. So let's cast it to integer. So now I should not get any error. And what if we do user is not authenticated? What I want is I want to return not found. So let's change this, and here let's copy this one, and here I'm going to change this to not found, and add here message like user not found, And finally, let's return our return object. So I can see error because we are returning I action result, and here we are expecting action result of user authentication object. So because if there is an error, we are returning a string here. So now let's change this to I action result, and now we are not getting error. Let's save this. And one more change I'm going to make in our security manager context class. So I'm creating one constructor which accepting our to do context. So let's copy this, and let's create one constructor here. So it's public security manager, and it's accepting to do context. And here, similar to our controller, let's copy this and take this read only, and let's assign this read only parameter in our constructor. And let's make one more change. Instead of creating a new instance, let's remove this using statement here, and use our this read only context to get the data from database. And also we need to include our user claim table as we did in the user details controller. So similar to that, let's add include here, and write the lambda expression user claims. And also we need to check if we are having a values in user details or not. In case of invalid username or password, it will come null. So we can keep condition here. If user details not equals to null, then only we are going to set all this. Else what it will be create? It will create a new instance, and by default all boolean property will be false. So we will get is authenticated will be false. So let's save this. And one more change is we added to do context in the constructor. So we need to pass it from our user details controller. So let's open our controller and pass a context object. So that's all, and now let's run our application. So after running API, let's open Postman because our UI is not ready yet. So let's test this in the Postman. So I am going to create add request, and give names like login, and save this. And now I'm going to change this to post. And what is our API URL? Let's copy this and paste it here, and then it should be API, then user details, and then login. So and now let's add in the headers what we are going to pass is JSON. So we need to define content type here. So content type, and let's tell this as a JSON application or JSON. And in the body I'm going to pass email and password. So let's give email, and value will be the last created value. This is a record which we inserted last time. And password would be 1 2 3 4 5. So that's all. Now let's run our application and let's see what we are getting. So yeah, we received a response with a status code to 200, and we can see that I am having access to to-do dashboard and I'm not having access to admin module, and my authentication is true. Now let's change this email to something else. I'm giving 11, and this time let's see what I'm getting. So I'm getting 404 now, and I can see message user not found. But now still our token is static, and this bearer token is static. So in the next video we are going to implement that token. So thank you for watching. That's all for this video.